Hello everyone, my name is Maria and this is Knitting is Therapy, my knitting podcast, episode number 10. And I'm glad that we got so far with all of my knitting project updates. I'm happy and very grateful that you are still here. If you are new one in my channel, here we talk about all things knitting, so all of the finished garments, works in progress, and some acquisitions and plans that I have. So generally, my plan is to publish a video every week. Knitting podcast is released once per 2 weeks, and in between of those knitting podcasts, I'm also adding some knitting inspirational ideas or anything knitting related that I consider useful myself and I consider that may be useful for other knitters that are following my channel. So welcome, and we are getting some of the updates I have to share with you today. As you maybe noticed already, I am not wearing some knitted garment today. We are getting closer to Easter celebration here in Ukraine, so I'm filming it right before the Easter celebration. It's 5th of the May this year. That's why I decided to wear like more or less traditional clothing for Easter in my family at least, and that's an embroidered shirt that I'm wearing today. Generally, the idea is to wear some traditional clothing, and it's called vyshyvanka. But as mine is not really a traditional one, but the inspiration and the general idea was quite similar. I made it myself when the war started here, so it was like a bit over 2 years ago. I made mine myself, so embroidering was done by me. It has lots of details on the sleeves here. That's huge and heavy sleeves. Also, I like the details on the cuff. There are not a lot of details on the body, so the main focus was on the sleeves. Also, some raglan shape embroidery was done here as well. So it was sewed beforehand, and then I embroidered on the shirt directly. Not sure if it was extremely interesting, but I am very proud of this handmade garment as well. So that's why I decided that's the right time to wear it today. So we are like extremely into some Easter preparations this week. Lots of stuff should be done before, and also I have made, not sure if it's handmade, well, it's handmade by me. It's like such a bouquet made with different dry flowers with some eggs added, because we have eggs also as a traditional food for Easter, like a symbol of a beginning of a new life, I guess. This masterclass was organized at my work, and we were doing, so we have different classes before Easter each year, and this time it was making such a bouquet, and yeah, so that looks like this. That's why I didn't have lots of progress on my knitting projects during last 2 weeks because all of these preparations, but I still have one finished object to share with you today. You may remember it from the previous episode because it's Space Fit socks that you have already seen. That's a colorwork socks, so it's Space Fit socks designed by Karolina Adamczyk or Adamczyk, not sure. I made mine using Kaisla yarn by Concept by Katya, and hand-dyed yarn in such a white color with black speckles for this fingers part, for the heel, and for the ribbon on the top. Overall, that was also like the idea of the designer, was using like two different yarns. In my case, these colors change was like built into the yarn, so that's why I decided that it will look great on the finished garment. I made my socks in size L, so like a large size, because I am a tall person, and also color work, I have a big long feet, and the color work adds a bit of thickness, and my socks are not so stretchy even with using hand-dyed merino wool sock yarn. So they are not very stretchy, especially on the heel. As the pattern size selection is based on the heel, mine led to the size large. Yeah, so I made mine on 3mm needles, except the ribbon here in the beginning. This one was made on 2.5mm needles with one strand of merino nylon blend. For the fingers part and for the heel, for the back, here the yarn was held with two strands like color work, so I was alternating the strands of this contrasting color yarn. And that's mostly it on this one. I have already told and shared a lot of the feedback about all of the details in the pattern itself. I like the detailing that is present there. It was very easy to follow it. It was very easy for me to make these socks. I think I made them like during a week after work, so it's quite a quick progress for the such a complicated socks, I guess, because it's still color work. Yeah, and this is it for my space socks that are finally completely done and blocked. So we are moving to some works in progress that I have so far. Last time I have shared that I started working on nature lace sweater by Knitting for Olive. Here is the progress I have on it so far. I hope you can see the drape. I have steam blocked it, half of it at least, so you can see the lacing. The color that you are seeing is like more or less accurate, I can say. It's like brown olive shade. That's a merino wool hand-dyed yarn. Yeah, that's a hold double. I don't have Knitting for Olive. I don't have where to buy Knitting for Olive here in Ukraine. That's why I just found something that would fit the knitted gauge. After steam blocking, I can see the lacing opened up a bit. It's quite drapey and with lots of holes. I have also completed, like fully completed the body. Here are 2x2 ribbon done as well, but it's not so drapey because it was not blocked yet. And currently it is waiting for me to start the hem and the sleeves. For this one, I can say that I'm still doubting about the hem. If I should make it like proposed in the pattern, this 2x2 ribbon, like a turtleneck, very high one. Not sure that I want to make it like this. I think I will also take into consideration the amount of the yarn I will have after completing the sleeves, and we will see what I can do for the collar. Maybe I will make it like double folded collar. I don't know. I want it to be like a little bit easier, like a light throw on piece kind of sweater, not something heavy with a extremely high neck. For the pattern itself, I was working for the first time on a book written pattern. Of course, there is some characters limitations that is very noticeable from the very beginning, because all the words are shortened to save the space, and not everything is in such a details as in like separate online patterns that I was working on before. Most of the sweater is charted. There are 3 sizes. I selected the smallest one because it was still quite a wide version of the sweater, especially taking into consideration the lacing that will grow. So in result, I can't say that it's like extremely complex, like and hard pattern to follow, especially for charts. It's nice. But it's a bit hard to switch from forth and back knitting following the pattern when you are doing some lacing on the front and just a purl row on the back. In the round, it was a bit harder to switch like to the different way of working on the chart. But overall, it's fine. I'm glad that I completed it. It's a bit challenging, but the result worth it. I put it on hold for a while because I just needed my needles to be free from the other projects that we will talk about a bit later. And also I was a bit tired of all the charts, to be honest, so I started working on some other projects and needed a pause from all this lacing. Yeah, so this is it about the nature lace sweater for today, and we are moving to the next one. The next project that I finally worked on a lot. Let me just have it ready to show you. That's a poppy tee by PetiteKnit. You can see it even a bit brighter than it's in real life. It's a navy blue color. I'm making this in size medium for my boyfriend. I have already made one for him last year and in a bit lighter one, a lighter color, and now I'm making this one in a bit darker option. The stitch definition maybe is not the perfect one because it's 70% cotton, 30% cashmere yarn, but overall it's still much better comparing like using 100% cotton yarns in some cases. I'm making this one on 3.5mm needles. So I have already split the sleeves and currently working on the body. As it's a man version of a t-shirt, it should be extremely long comparing to the woman sizing. So I think I'm halfway through the body so far. My plan here is not to make the neckline and the ending on the sleeves in ribbon, and the hem on the bottom of this t-shirt, because I decided to make it with a folded stockinette for all of these pieces. I think it will give this t-shirt more summer vibe and more summer fit comparing to the ribbed collar, for example. Also, I've joined the Knit Along that was organized by a yarn store, Wool Expert, where I bought this yarn from. If you're from Ukraine, let me know. I will share all the details how you can join as well. So all the work is flying there. There are lots of different options of yarns and generally very active discussions of the ideas here. And that's a thing that motivates me to continue working on this, because now it's moving extremely slow and I lose my motivation, but still it's a mindless stockinette. So sometimes I just need to work on this and enjoy the process. Not sure if you will see the result in the next podcast, because still it takes lots of time to complete it. And that was it for the poppy tea. I think 2 episodes before, I've also talked about the Oslo Hat I started working on. I was doing some checkups, health checkups, so I was waiting in the queue in the hospitals, and that's where I brought my Oslo Hat to work on, because it was easy to transport it, to bring it with me. So this is what I have so far. It should be folded already, I guess. I need to measure it. So if you have worked before on Oslo Hat by PetiteKnit, it's like double folded brim, and then you just turn your work and start working like on the main part of the hat. So currently I am almost done with the brim. I have no rush to work on this right now, because I will not need a beanie in the nearest future. So I just take my time and bring this one up when I have time and feel like knitting Oslo Hat. Mine is made on 3.5 millimeter needles using Lanagato Vip yarn in such a beautiful lilac color. It was a color of this year winter for me. I liked it a lot before switching to all the greens. This yarn is 80% merino wool and 20% cashmere, so it's very soft. It has like wool memory, but still lots of softness from the cashmere, and I like how it looks. I already made one using this yarn in a different shade, so currently I'm working on this one for myself for the next season. And that's it for the Oslo Hat. We are moving to the next, and I think like a last work in progress for today. And I think you will be surprised about the progress. That's Fennel Seed Jacket, designed by Florence Miller. It's made on 5 millimeter needles in Fisherman's Rib pattern. As you can see, I have already completed both sleeves. Also, I have completed the back part, and the body is almost done. I'm currently working on the ribbing. The ribbing is done on 4 millimeter needles, and the last thing that I have to do here is these front blankets, and also the collar should be added here. I'm making mine using Lanagato Super Soft yarn. It's 100% virgin merino wool yarn. It's called like color hockey, but it's very close to Knitting for Olive Dusty Aqua, I guess. So it's held together with Knitting for Olive Silk Mohair in color Dusty Sea Green. It's very soft. I like how nice it is, how soft, and we can say drapey. It's a bit see-through because of using 5 millimeter needles for this one. I'm a bit worried about the fit that I selected, because the pattern itself doesn't have lots of positive ease. It calls like for up to 10 centimeters of positive ease, I guess. So I have some doubts about the fit, but we will see after finishing the front blankets, especially because currently it's a bit, the front panel is curling a bit, so I will need to block it well, to stretch it a bit, and to see what's the final result. It's still a very nice one, but I don't want it to be too tight, so maybe all the work was wasted and I selected the wrong size for myself. I am making the second size from this pattern. We will see in the next episode of my knitting podcast, I think, because currently I ran out of yarn. I have already used all of the 8 skeins of merino wool that I had, so I am waiting for the delivery to be able to continue working on this one. And that's the project that took my 5mm needles from the nature lace sweater. That's why I didn't make sleeves there. So getting into some plans and acquisitions. So the acquisitions, I'm still waiting for the delivery of my yarn. And for the plans, I considering finishing all the current whips so far, and also the plan is to make Novice Cardigan Chunky Edition with some modifications, because I don't have enough yarn to make the same one that I made before, but I have some nice leftover yarn as a natural alpaca in natural colors by Concept by Katya. This is the yarn I am thinking about to make one more Novice Cardigan Chunky Edition. It's Concept by Katya limited edition yarn, alpaca natural colors. Sorry. It's 84% alpaca and 16% cotton yarn, because it's cotton chain into which the alpaca wool is blown, like inside of it. I already have one cardigan made with this yarn. I bought a little bit too much when I was on vacation. That's why I was thinking about what I can make with it, and I decided to make a similar cardigan for my mom. Because the metrage is great for this yarn. It has 90 meters per 50 grams. It's very soft. It doesn't peel. I'm already wearing my cardigan for a while, like for half a year, I guess. So I think it's the right time to make one more and to stop just saving this yarn in my stash. As my mom has a little bit bigger size than I am wearing, I think that I can just make a collar hem, something like this, maybe the front blankets as well, with a different yarn, with some just wool blend yarn, to be on the safe side and have enough yarn for the length that she likes and for the fit that she likes. So that's my plan. I think like the next knitting podcast will be not in greens, it will be more in grays, because I still plan to start the dress designed by Sandnes Garn, Malou dress that I mentioned in my previous podcast episode. So as soon I will have my needles free, I'm planning to cast on some more projects. That was it for today. Thank you for watching this knitting podcast. Leave a like if you find it interesting, follow for more videos, and have a nice knitting. Bye bye.